Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
Beast. I'm a beast. Oh my God. Mood swings out of line. Mood swings out of time. I was broke. I don't cry. I'm a goat. I'm a god. I'm a beast. I'm a god. Nigga, let that shit fly. Nigga, you don't want no problem. I be feeling like Batman. My niggas always robbing.
Yo, boy, y'all don't know what it is. Y'all don't know. It's been a long week. It's been a crazy week, but it's a game Friday night. We're going to get into that in a minute, but real quick, shout out to my boy Clint Coley. I ain't listened to his podcast in a minute, but y'all, we got to get into some things. So, last week, JT lost to Mesquite Poteet, and that was the whole thing about Cam not playing the whole game. I made the post, I made the podcast, and we talked about it. And y'all, I put my Undertaker music on, all this stuff, and made it all glamoury and cool and funny. But it wasn't the shot at Coach Holmes just to say, "Oh, come up with the dude." Last year, literally, he shared some of our podcasts on Twitter and stuff. So don't think, "Oh, Coach Holmes, he's mad because Coach Holmes won't get on the interview or something, or he's mad at Coach." Nah, it's nothing against Coach Holmes. I sit in the stands and listen to y'all talk about Coach Holmes and talk about how y'all want him fired and he ain't doing this, y'all don't say nothing to them people up in the stands though. Don't say nothing to those people, but y'all came with us about we're bringing negative energy and stuff. So let me go ahead and just clear this up. First of all, shout out to everybody on the forum. Shout out to No Days Off East Texas. That dude right there, great supporter. Everybody on the forum. The people on the forum know that we ain't got to talk about the people on the forum. JT Fan 99, Kudo for all y'all know this is sports talk, so y'all are good. But then we go over to the forum, to the Cujo group. There's a few people that get too sensitive and don't know football and start talking about personal things. But this is right off top. They was making a post about, we don't need no negative talk or this. Pretty much, we do not go off any guidelines or rules, quote unquote, whatever y'all got in groups, forums, whatever. So I make this show. Y'all weren't shooting in the gym with me. Y'all wasn't in here making this podcast, trying to let this thing upload 2 hours when my internet was bad, all this stuff. Nobody but me and Cia was in there doing this. So we don't go off people's grooves and guidelines and people say, you got to say this, don't say that. No. So whatever I say on here is what we're going to say. This is all this. You don't have to listen. That's just what you got to do. You don't have to listen. We've been going there 3 years strong. People have been sharing it. People have been talking about it. And just because JT's been kind of better than they was last year, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying the team isn't as good and the record is 3-7. And most of the podcasts we're talking about is maybe a loss. It's just what we got to talk about, because if it's a loss, it's a loss. We're going to post no matter what. I know it's people on YouTube, like, let me say, like, what I do on Madden, there's YouTubers who will only post their wins. So they make it look like, I'm the greatest Madden player in the world. And they'll make these little kids think, he's so good, he never loses. And he'll put like an ebook guy. If y'all know what ebook is, like a guide, or like teaching people how to play the game. And they'll sell these books for like $30, $40. And these kids will buy these ebooks from these guys they're playing, and they're acting like they're playing good competition, but they're really playing guys that suck, like 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds and stuff. And like I noticed, so that's kind of like, we don't do that. We don't post, just because they win, we're going to post. If because they lose, we're not going to post or whatever. No, we've been doing it for 3 years. So all you people that's new who just I don't know if you just got some freshman kids who came into the school and y'all just started becoming JT fans or something. But this is nothing new. 3 years, y'all wasn't having no problems 3 years. So all these new people, I don't know if y'all coaches, wives, coaches, side chicks, whatever, I don't know who y'all are. But pretty much it was a bunch of people, mainly, I'm just not being sexist, but I didn't see any dudes coming at me, but mainly women, but was talking about stuff we didn't know what we were talking about. Everything I say is facts. Everything I say is something from a source or from some whatever. Now, I ain't put everything out there, so y'all, if I would put everything out, y'all would have been like, wow, that really happened. So that being said, we don't go off no guidelines, no rules, so we don't go by the forum, the group, the Cujo group's rules. Don't post this or don't say this. No, we don't go off any guidelines. Only guidelines I go by off is YouTube's guidelines. So me and you and I don't go by Facebook. I don't post. I post on Facebook, but Facebook don't got no guidelines. So me and Mark Zuckerberg is good too. So that's that. Now back to the story. Back to what I want to talk about. So like I said, we don't go off of that. People talking about Cam. Cam was doing this, Cam was doing that. We going over that. He started the game, right? I made the post. Everybody got sensitive about it, but look what happened. I'm not saying I made this racism, but Cam ended up starting the game Friday. Now, y'all can be mad about it. Y'all can be happy about it, but y'all can see that they scored 27 points. And they scored. He was passing. He was running. And it wasn't just Crawford getting the ball. Crawford, running Crawford all the way. That game last week, Sanchez was 2 of 6 for 3 quarters, and Cam came in like 6 of 12. So y'all this look at that. Now, so that's I want to answer. Karen Sanders answered that question. What stellar performance occurred before the personal change? Well, you see it. The numbers speak for themselves. Cam was better throwing percentage than Sanchez. More touchdowns, more rushing yards. Everything better than Sanchez. I mean, they had to take Sanchez out just for Isaiah to throw a deep pass. So that's what I'm saying is it's just a clear that I don't understand what was going on. Well, I kind of understand what's going on, but like I said, we don't talk about stuff that's put everything out for y'all. But you wonder, like, dang, if that's the case, why did they not start him against McKinney North? Why did they even play him against Poteet? I mean, they winnable games, right? So anybody of their right mind would be like, what are you doing? And that's what we was talking about. What are you doing? And so with that being said, that is pretty much, I mean, it's clear cut. I mean, that's why I want to answer a question and say, well, that's the reason he had a better stats. Most of these people are bringing up like personal stuff and, oh, you talking about kids and we're talking about football. Y'all don't say nothing about these white folks and whatever folks from DFW that make these podcasts and say stuff. Don't go at us and stuff, but we say this is the game. This is broadcasting journey, whatever we do. You know, we got Stephen A. Smith. You got guys like Shannon Sharp. You gotta have those type of guys on your shows, and y'all might hate them, but y'all gonna go right back next week and sit down on what they gonna say. He hates the Cowboys. Stephen A. Smith talk about the Cowboys all the time, but you gonna go Monday and see what he gonna say about them because you hate them, but you want to know what he want to say, win or lose, right? Never. That's what it is. So y'all might hate what I say, but y'all gonna listen. It doesn't matter if you don't. You're gonna listen. I just know this. We studied it. You can't, especially people don't know football. Don't come try to talk football with me and CJ and act like this and bring up personal stuff and other stuff. You're not going to win in a football debate with us. I know what I'm talking about. We know what we're talking about. So with that being said, it's that's what it is now. I know there might still be some people who's going to say something. Like I said, we don't say people's names. I went off my own rule and said, nah, I had to say that name because Karen Sanders, she wanted to specifically answer that question. So I answered that for her. But yeah, other than that, negative stuff, we don't say your name. If you say something bad about it, I ain't gonna say it. I'm never gonna say your name, so you're never gonna get any kind of publicity for me. And so that's the whole reason of why y'all saying, okay, well, now Cam was in the game and they still lost. But you understand that this defense is supposed to have been bringing back all these starters. So you can't blame it on the offense all the time. They still gave up 32 points, which means the defense didn't do their job all the way. Now Crawford is pretty much the guy. He's the best defensive player, best offensive player, everything, right? So one man, he can do so much. So, but a team like Sherman, they probably shouldn't have lost to. I mean, they pretty much handled them easily last year. And then you come into this year, and it's just the fact that the team is not as good as last year. That's just the whole thing. People know. I know we got to say it, but that's just the whole thing. Oh yeah, I want to say one more thing before I get into everything. When I was talking about the person that said we bring negative energy, I don't understand. How can I be negative when specifically last year when we didn't post, we used to post on a specific day like Sunday or Saturday, we would up though. And if we didn't post even after a loss, people would message me and CJ and like, oh, y'all got the podcast. I mean, shout out, I forgot her name. I do her name. What's her name? But Cadillac's mom. She messaged me most of the time. Oh, hey, when y'all uploading the podcast? I'm like, yeah, we got this is gonna be a few days late, but we got it up for y'all. We gonna get it out for y'all. Like, and that's how I did. I'm like, wow. That's what I'm saying. People listen to us. They don't matter. So all these new people, they're all thinking that they don't listen to us. No, people message us and ask us when it's gonna go up. Like, I got a cousin on the forum on the Cujo group that I say he likes a lot of my posts and stuff. Like, people know us. So that's what I was going to put that out there. But this defense didn't do the job that they should have done to win this game. But like I said, offensively, you can't say that they was not, because they was not going to win. Well, they was not going to probably not score 27 points trying to play like they played last week, just having Sanchez run 3 plays. Oh yeah, and JT on the run like 3 plays. We talked about this on the forum, and the coach in Sherman said it in a post or whatever he said in the interview. We stopped there 3 plays, we should be good. No lie, the dude said JT runs like 3 plays, and I mean that's what is the offensive coordinator. What did they do? I mean, what did they do? Because you had to call 3 plays with Sanchez because you couldn't really do much with him. But I don't know who the coordinator is still. I thought it was Bush, but I don't know if he's still the coordinator as he left. But I believe it's Bush to the quarterback. Oh yeah, here we go. He's talking about he believes. Shut up. I'm talking. I'm anyway. I know. Remember they had what was that guy last name? He used to be he was like an offensive line coach. He was a coordinator. I forgot the guy's name. I remember he was the one last time, but before that, it was him down. I'm pretty sure it's Bush now. I think it's still Bush. But the offense was just more explosive last year. And seems like they got the talent, but it's like they don't want to utilize everything. I mean, the talent, like I said, it's like the team. You can't compare the team from last year to this year. They lost a lot of people. It's gonna take a year. It might take next year for them to get clicking. So a lot of people expected, hey, they might not be as good as they was last year, but they ended up stopping Sherman to at least not go to Lufkin. So it was a last second throw to keep them from getting the 4th seed, which. Now Sherman, that's the first I've seen a team wins the game but still loses. So Sherman loses their playoff hopes and they get absolutely deleted because they couldn't score those 11 points. Absolutely deleted. They got on the L train. Like they got on the L train after they won the game. It's like you know how you get on the wrong bus. Like so they got on the wrong bus, but they won the game. But they got on the wrong bus. They was on the L train. They're supposed to be on the W train, but they got on the L train. Uh-huh. So that's kind of how it feels like. Like it's like that. But yeah. I know a lot of people might say, "Oh, dang, this team's gonna lose against College Station next week." I've heard it. I'm not gonna even quote people. I'm not gonna tell you where I heard it from. I ain't gonna tell you where it's coming from. But I said people, not me. But I've seen and heard people say, "Well." We probably just finna. I'm looking ahead to next year. Next year. That's what people are saying, and they're not giving it that hope. But I always have hope. I always believe in whatever JT team put on the field. I always believe they can win. But looking ahead to this team, they lost to Tomball, so they struggled. But Tomball's a pretty bad team too. So. We've been at that, and I still, with Cam, as long as they keep Cam in the quarterback, I believe they got a good chance to win that game because they struggled with Tomball, and Tomball got the floor mopped with them last year. I think it's pretty much the same team Tomball run back last year, maybe worse or a little bit better. I haven't seen any Tomball games, but I know the game we saw last year was absolutely horrendous. So with that being said, 2 hour ride Friday night. It's gonna be a home. The only thing is it's at home now. College Station is gonna be at home, so they got a little advantage there. JT could have got the home game. They just didn't take care of business with those two Mesquite, Poteet, and McKinney North games, which I don't have no idea what happened. I'm not going to even say nothing, but it's just the proof is in the pudding. You see, they had winnable games, but if Cam even plays against Poteet, I think they still win the game. I think they win that game with Poteet. If Cam starts McKinney North, I believe they win that game. That's just my opinion. And that's just how, we'll never know now. But, yeah, that's what it is, man. We got CJ for them bring you on here. I wanted to say one thing. Lee's in the playoffs. They're going to get blown out. I'm being negative about that. I don't care. Wake Up Midway is going to destroy them. But if they win, then that's good for them. If they win, I just believe they're not going to win. But I got something special for Longview. If Longview loses any playoff game, you have to watch the video I make for Longview. I do not care if you cry about it. I don't care if you laugh about it. You want to watch this video. I'm already telling the Longview fans to be ready for the video if y'all lose it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just remember, I'm going to get my guy Chisel Adonis. I'm going to actually pay him if he want. He might do it for free, but he's going to help me do this video. I'm serious. But here we go for real CJ. Let me message him now about that while CJ talking.
Well. Regular season is in the books, and we're talking about we recapping this game versus Sherman this past Friday night. Now, I'll be honest. I expected. I was saying to myself that JT, they can go on and get this victory against Sherman. You want to head into the playoffs on a winning note, but I'll get into that in a second. I'll give my thoughts on that as I'm talking about next week's game. But I want to talk about this. All in all, JT led. They led at one point 21-10. I know Rob went over some of the game, his thoughts on the game and whatnot, but, of course I add a little something to it, give my thoughts, and that's how we do. But, JT led 21-10, and, you're wondering where did it go wrong in the game versus Sherman. Now, like I say, I haven't really paid attention. I know Sherman, they're still a struggling team, and, you're wondering where it went wrong. Because like Rob even mentioned, he was just talking about how JT coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda beat McKinney North and Poteet. Something went wrong in both of them games. But against a team, like Sherman, even though you had to travel to Sherman, good little trip. But, like I said, they led at one point 21-10. But then, in the third quarter, Sherman scores 22 points. So there's the turnaround right there. Because, hey, third and fourth quarter, I call them the money quarters. It's like, football, basketball, but football because, a lot of times, just like, a lot of teams, like I say, a lot of teams, if you get that momentum in the third quarter, it'll take a great team to overcome that momentum in the fourth quarter, because if a team can gain that momentum in the third quarter, I've seen this a lot of times, basketball too, but basketball, a lot of comebacks happen more in basketball. It seems like, 20 point, 18 points, because, how basketball is more of a fast-paced game. So, you hit, like I say the Warriors, not the Warriors right now because we know their situation, but, the Warriors, 18 points is like they down 6 points. 3 or 4 threes. It's like, dang, what happened? So, especially when you got the Splash Brothers, but, that's just a little analogy. I know that wasn't all the way accurate, but I'm just saying momentum in football is very important because, like I say, whatever happens in that third quarter, if you don't match that momentum and that intensity, then you're in trouble, especially when you're on the road. So, because, home field advantage, if you give a team confidence, if you feel like if they're an inferior team, this is just something I learned. I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I listen to those that are. I got that quote from Stephen A. I ain't going to lie. But I studied this game. I studied it since I came out of the womb, And I kind of feel like what Rob says. I don't put it out there like I can out debate anybody. But like I say, I check my facts. I listen to the experts. That's how I got all kind of football knowledge. But anyways, though, I don't mind being wrong, by the way. So like a lot of people in this world. But anyway, that's a personal thing. But the thing about it is, the rule is if a superior team has the chance, they should just go on and take care of business. Don't give an inferior team any hope of winning that game. If you let them hang around, they gain momentum. There it is. Hey, remember when the Dolphins went up 14-0 on the Steelers? About 2 or 3 weeks ago? I'm like, on Monday Night Football. But the Steelers, they gonna score once, and I don't think Miami scored again. They might have, and that was all in the first half. But one Steelers, and then it wasn't no match. So you can't give them hope. You can't give an inferior team hope. But I'm gonna get into how Sherman won this game. I mean, look, here's a couple stats for you. Sherman quarterback Tate Bethel, he passed for 300 yards. And their running back, Mike Brown, rushed for 104 yards. Also, Bethel, the quarterback, he rushed for another 105. So you like, well, can a team, if you allow that, can you win? I mean, if you're a high-powered offensive team, maybe so, probably so. But that's where it was right there. And Rob spoke on it before I did, but like he said, so it's just not me saying it. Come down to the defense. Now I gotta bring this up because it's a reoccurring thing. We have to talk about what's happening here. The Poteet game. Let me bring it back to the Poteet game. See, Poteet imposed this will and gained momentum in the second half. That's how they won that football game, because JT could have won that game, but once 15 got going and he put some more icing on the cake at the end, they didn't have to score that last touchdown. But I was like, that just, let all the rest of the air out of the tire, so to speak. And like I say, even Nick Saban said it at halftime. We ain't going to get in that game. Shout out to LSU for taking care of business. But anyway, though, hey, I'm not a Roll Tide fan. But anyway, that's a different story. But I'm giving y'all an example. See, in the Poteet game, because you didn't stop the run, and they didn't even have Seth McGowan, like I said. But they had that running game going, and 15 was just hitting the hose, hit a pass here. And you just... Even when you felt like, oh, JT can pull this game out, you don't see nothing too special about Poteet. You let him hang around. And see, like I say, won that game. That momentum could have carried into the Sherman game, but the defense hasn't. I mean, I don't know if it's found an identity yet, especially since the McKinney North game, because McKinney North was really their first. Let's just be honest, it was their first real test in district, because, and look, McKinney North finished the district undefeated, 6-0. They was, they averaged over 600 yards a game, so that was a test. And JT, they had the chance to win that ball game, and I agree with Rob. I agree, if Cam played the whole game, they would have most likely won that game. Now, the only difference is, would Keaton Crawford would have had 300 yards rushing. That goes to what me and Rob was talking about off air, because of what he said, somebody said about the Sanchez thing. Well, when you have somebody rush for over 300 yards, you have a great chance of winning, or should win. Why do you think they ran heavy? They leaned heavy on the run. I'm just saying that. Now, like I said, if Cam was playing the whole game, they probably wouldn't have ran as much, because you have a person that you're confident in throwing the football. We're just going by what we see, because when you put another quarterback in there, like I say, the running game helps the quarterback. That's the fundamentals of football. So if you have a quarterback that maybe struggles throwing the football, look, the great quarterbacks, it's just like NFL. They can throw it a lot. They can throw it, but if you're an inferior quarterback, it's no business for you to throw 30 times, high 20s, whatever. Even though high school football is a little different. Of course, it's a little different in ways. I'm being modest, but you know what I'm saying? It's a little different than, NFL. So, but the thing is, like I say, I was going to get into the losses situation. See, I don't know if people are thinking about this because, JT, they're heading to the playoffs with 3 consecutive losses. Not the best thing you want to do heading into the playoffs. You're going on the road. You're facing, like I told Rob, College Station is usually a pretty good team. I see them in the playoffs. I'm just going by what I know in the past. I haven't studied them like that. But, they're coming in they finished their season 7-3. They get a home playoff game. So, they're obviously a good to pretty good team. I don't know if they're great, but, we'll find out Friday. But, like I said, the defense, I have to say this because I spoke on the defense because I feel like the way this team is built this year, the defense has to kind of carry their weight in a way because the offense, I wouldn't call it high powered. So if JT gets behind the 8 ball, like I said, with McKinney North, I was pretty sure they're going to have to match. The offense is going to have to be on point. And they had a chance to win that game. One play could have changed everything because, they kept McKinney North below their season average in points. So they had a chance to win that game. And, of course, Keaton Crawford, if it wasn't for those over 300 yards, they probably would have got blew out because, of their offensive situation. But, so, because, like I said, it's a different team. So, and that's what you have to go into the playoffs. Of course, in the playoffs, all you're going to play is good teams, good to great teams. So, and JT is coming in 3-7, 3rd seed. They're really not used to coming in like this, but they're in the playoffs. So now we switch to that Cujo mode. You're always going to have the mode, never quit, never die. But this is where it's mostly implicated because this is playoffs. One loss, you're going home, till the fall. Or to, it's over till spring ball happens. So it's a one and done. So this is it. So, the Cujo spirit, we believe in it. Like I say, this week, it's focused on those last 3 losses are in the past. Y'all can start a winning streak right now. Right now it can start. It can start against College Station. In College Station. It can happen. So we're going to see what kind of defense is going to show up against a good College Station ball club. And like I say, now like Rob said, they have lost to Tomball. They played Lufkin. They played them in October and lost to them. So, sometimes it's hard to judge with who they lost to. We going off the Tomball team. We saw that JT defeated, pretty much it was really no match on the field when JT defeated Tomball last year in the first round of playoffs at Rose Stadium. So we're going to see what happens. Like I say, Cam, I believe in the offense. I believe they could get it done. It's just, can the defense get enough stops? Sometimes it's 1 or 2 stops. Sometimes, they let it get out of hand because they let them get going. But, hey, I believe in them. They can show up on any given day and completely, they can neutralize a team, to a lesser degree of what they're used to. So I believe in that. But it's all about what team is going to show up. How focused will they be? We believe, it's never quit, never die. That's why they have a chance. Am I predicting a win? No. Am I predicting a loss? No. I'm just saying what has to happen for this team to be successful. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying this is what should happen that didn't happen in these last 3 games. So, but all in all, we're guaranteed one more episode of this podcast about JT this week. We're talking about a W, not a L. Hopefully JT ain't going on. Because like I said, and two, that's a long way for a loss. But I know they're gonna show up. I know they're gonna give it they all. Like I said, and we'll talk about the next opponent. Hopefully there is a next opponent because, like I say, you're going into their house against a good team. You're coming in as an underdog, straight out. Just, it's something JT probably ain't used to. So I'm looking forward to talking about it. And by the way, the people that's traveling down there, I wish y'all a safe trip down there. It's playoff atmosphere. It's fun stuff. And also, I'm gonna give about 2 or 3 shout outs, but I'm gonna shout out to the rest of the East Texas teams that's in the playoffs. You never know. In the next couple weeks or so, we might make a podcast talking about another East Texas team or teams. You never know what we're gonna do over here. But we gotta focus on Cujo Nation. But before I pass it back off the rod, man, I'm going to give a couple shout-outs, couple birthday shout-outs, man, couple supporters. I want to shout out Miss Siobhan Oxford from Tyler to Houston. Shout out to you. She been a supporter for a minute. Also, I got to shout out Mr. DJ Hollywood, man, one of the most hardest working DJs there is. Now, if y'all at any event y'all have, any occasion, y'all need a DJ, y'all look him up on Facebook, Ronaldo Miles. That's REYNALDO Miles, MYLES. It'll say his name. Let's say Ronaldo DJ Hollywood Miles. Hey man, he'll get you right on any event, weddings, any event. It don't even matter. Salute to him. Hey, he done supported me. He done also recommended me for some gigs. So it's all love. But for the high school football fans, pay attention. It's playoff time, man. Pay attention to them games going on, man. It's a fun time. I'm going to pass it back off the rod before I get out of here. Peace out.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of shout-out, speaking of DJing, I was a DJ. I still do it. And I still believe I'm the greatest DJ that Tyler has ever had. I'm just being real. Yeah, I'm the greatest DJ in East Texas. That's what I said it. I always want to make somebody mad. Somebody gonna listen. I am the greatest DJ in East Texas. Put anybody, I don't care who it is, put up against me. Anyway, I forgot to say something. Y'all was talking about the stuff last when I said my stuff. The first one earlier. I didn't bring up. Nobody was around when I want to hear all these people who was talking about everything we saying. Y'all was the same people being negative when Rattler was the coach. Remember them running 9 JT teams? Remember them teams? Y'all wasn't supporting them, sitting in them stands with me, 20 people in the stands. So don't come talking about you support all these people who talk about they supporting. I know there's still some people who supported in those years, but the majority of the people was talking about the coach and they need to be fired. Like I said, so y'all be talking about, we don't want no talking about these people talking about the coaching staff, but y'all was back in them years talking about how bad Coach Rattler was and how bad the team was and all this stuff. Like, I know, I was there, I heard it. So, like I said, you cannot debate me on facts. I know my stuff. But I want to get a shout out. This is the randomest shout out you probably ever heard, because she might, maybe she's even listening. But shout out to, let me see if I get the name right. Look at my feed. Just bear with me right here. I do is Helen Blake. That's the name for you. Helen Blake. Now, why am I shouting her out? Because she knows exactly what we're talking about. She knows we're talking about football. She made a statement about somebody. She made a statement. She was talking to somebody back and forth, and they was talking about some of the stuff about the team and with the kids and everything. Like, well, we're talking about football and everything. So she understands. So I want to shout out to her because she knows what we're talking about. She liked the post I made, and she knows what, like, people. That's why I'm trying to find people that know what we're talking about, and she knew what we were talking about. So keep it like that. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping. I'm thinking. I'm optimistic. I believe they can take this game and win this game. Just clean up a few things. Don't make any crazy coaching decisions, and they should be all right. So we out here. The Cowboys are putting the play. They are playing. I've been watching on the phone. Yeah. Brett Maher sucks.
Ain't worried about nothing else. Can't let him get off, all right? I'm just giving y'all football knowledge. And Adam, I got a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Thielen, he ain't playing tonight. So
You know? Oh, yeah. The white people connection ain't playing tonight.
the
white, that's what it is. Shout out to the Chisel of Dunnis. I'm supposed to put it. Oh, yeah. I might. If y'all see a video at the end about the Cowboys, that's his video. I might put it. I think I'm going to do that.
I give another shout out.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out. I just seen a picture. Shout out to Miss Tessa Walton's Cowboy supporter. She wearing a Zeke jersey like crop top because you know she got that figure, so she wearing a crop top like Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. She been doing a thing for a minute. Shout out to Miss Tessa Walton, great model by the way. You need somebody to host your event. You know, get at her. She all about her business though. Shout out to her, one of the most talented ones around. I'm out.
All right. Yeah. And Brett Maher missed the field goal like while we was talking. He sucks. Sometimes, yeah. It's going down.